Hello everybody. We're back with another long video of Fantasy Cup Great League Edition. 1500 CP or lower. Here we've got Berserker, Dragonite, and Registeel. I'm looking around, see if there's anything else I want to use. Oh yes, I was talking about using Primarina last time as an alternative to Azumarill, who I would have to train up to get there, but I don't have the Stardust right now. I kind of used it all already, but this should be fine. And then and I do get it up to the maximum of as close to 1500 as I can later. Right off the bat, we're able to test out Primarina. How did they do against this Stunfisk, my biggest enemy? Pretty good. That water type attacks did a lot of damage to it. Didn't get it down into the yellow, but it let me know that, yeah, Primarina with that waterfall attack is going to be exactly what I need. And we got a Moonblast, which even when it's not very effective, does a ton of damage. So you know it's going to do a lot more damage on something that it's neutral affected to or super effective to. I did want to keep Primarina in for as long as possible because there's still that Galarian Stunfisk in the back. But we're definitely not going to waste another shield on Primarina here. And I don't think they use one of their shields on this Moonblast here, which takes out a big chunk of their damage. Yeah, almost half of their health gets out from a not very effective move. And then, you know, a couple waterfalls later, and we're in yellow territory. Now I want to wait a couple of seconds here just to see if I can just inch that timer closer to being able to switch my Pokemon when I want. We send out Berserker, who's the only reason I have it on is for Azumarill. I wasn't able to switch in time, but look at that. It knows Earthquake, so one of them is dying. As soon as I take that shield and it uses Earthquake, I switch into Registeel to be able to try to get as many Focus Blasts off as possible. Sadly, they fill up another Earthquake here and do a ton of damage to Registeel. Luckily, we're able to get off at least one Focus Blast, so that's one shield gone. And it's not, of course, that effective. It doesn't really do anything. One shield gone is not the end of them, especially when I am missing two of my shields. And I almost got that Focus Blast. If I had gotten that other Focus Blast, Stunfisk either would have been dead or they wouldn't have any shields left. Sadly, an Earthquake comes in and just like that, boom, kills Berserker. So fight number one, we lost. But we need to get used to Primarina being on the team. Kind of work our way, use our skills to kind of figure out what to do with Primarina on the team now. But we're in our second fight. It looks like I've leveled Primarina up since last time. It was almost 1400 and now it looks like it's almost 1500. So in between fight 1 and fight 2, I said, yep, Primarina is what I want to invest in. It only needed 2 level ups to get to where it is now. It has a higher CP than both of my other Pokemon on the team, and Primarina is just a big help. I wish I could give it 2 moves, but I didn't have the Stardust for it, so save that up a little bit. I might bring Primarina back on another team. Right there, you saw a classic Registeel versus Registeel scenario there. He got his Focus Blast up first, and I just wanted to save my shields for later. Maybe it probably would have been better if I had used a shield because he switched anyway, but I'm pretty sure Registeel chugs through a lot of these Pokemon here. I'm gonna let Registeel die, I think. If not this one, then it's in another one. Yeah, I learned that he has Ice Punch by not blocking, and Ice isn't very effective against Steel. As a matter of fact, Steel is super effective against Ice. So Berserker is perfect here for Sandslash, but I brought in Primarina because I guess I needed Berserker for a different Pokemon, or maybe I thought, maybe it'll trick me and and then it'll have Earthquake or something like that, but I don't know if it does know any ground type moves. Something to look out for while I'm here in the Fantasy League. Figure out if Sandslash knows any ground type moves. Here with Clefable, ooh, we can instantly switch into Berserker. I think we have 2, if not like 1 3/4 filled up on our energy. So instantly, bam! We got all that health. He was not expecting an Iron Head from Berserker, which honestly, you know, why wouldn't you? It knows a Steel move for other fairy types, I guess, but I blocked because, you know, it could have been anything. You know, a Psychic does a considerable amount of damage still. See, look right there, Bulldoze. So that's why I put out Primarina, because I knew it would have more than one move on it. Most of these Pokemon do a stab move and then like a coverage move. Registeel might be nice with another move, but honestly, it's you get off Focus Blast not that many times before Registeel dies. It's kind of, you know, you're lucky to get 1, really lucky to get 2. I think in these 5 battles here, there was a battle where I got it off 3 or 4 times, but that's just because their Pokemon didn't have any good moves for me to be able to use. Berserker is downed, and we send out Primarina with Moonblast instantly, but sadly, I think it goes right down to the wire here. It has 1 health left, right when it, yep, 1 more hit from Waterfall, and it would have died. Or if I had kept another shield from a previous fight, then it would have died and we would have won. But, ooh, it's down to the last couple of seconds. Just a couple of taps was the difference in that fight. And those are the fights you want to see. I'm upset that I didn't win that fight, obviously, but it was so close. I'm sure they were real excited because they were just as close as I was to losing that match. If I had played just slightly different, then I probably would have won. That would maybe be something to go back and look at again, even without commentary, just strictly looking at the battle and what I could have done differently. Might be a good lesson. Might be a good lesson to learn. You can see this time I've really made sure that I'm hitting all those energies here. I'm assuming it's gonna have Psychic Fangs, 'cause that's what the last one I had was. Crunch does a good amount of damage too, and even with Primarina, I think Crunch would still do a good amount. Bastiodon here, I know what it's gonna end up using. It's gonna end up using a Steel move. I think right before I'm able to hit my Moonblast, it uses it. Okay, I didn't even go for Moonblast. I was saving it up. I think I can just take it out without using any charged moves. But that's kind of smart. With Flash Cannon, you're able to get rid of those Fairy-type Pokemon. Not that effective against Primarina here. So, you know, the Fairy Pokemon you really need to look out for are the ones that are part water. So that's Azumarill and Primarina here. Because those will just, with a lot of Steel Pokemon also being rock or ground, it's just always going to have that super effective damage. So Bastiodon, I tried to use Bastiodon earlier, but for a different purpose with a Flamethrower. Equally as useless. Equally as useless. With Berserker here, I'm hoping I can get, you know, a couple of Trailblazes off. You know, maybe he won't block, get some super effective damage, something like that. But I know Berserker's not lasting at all. Even with that attack buff, I still switch out because Berserker fills up pretty quickly. Sometimes you can get lucky. You pull a Pokemon back at the last second that's on red health. Even if they don't have any charge, if they fill up their moves incredibly quickly, the matchup might be exactly right for you to be able to fill up one more charge attack, and that one more charge attack could be the difference between life and death in these scenarios here. Now, Registeel has so much health that it using Muddy Water is going to do nothing to it. Now, there's some times where I'm scared that it's going to have something other than Muddy Water, and I end up using a shield, and then they just keep using Muddy Water and they don't have Earthquake or anything like that. But you have to take those risks sometimes to ensure your win. You do feel stupid for guessing it wrong though, but you know, there's no way of knowing, so you shouldn't be too hard on yourself here. This might be the one where I just get Focus Blast off a ton. Crunch is going to do a good amount of damage, but definitely not enough to kill me. Yeah, that's about half, so any damage that Steelix would have done on top of another Crunch definitely would have killed me. But Focus Blast does so much damage. We're able to kill the Steelix with the, you know, one shot of what's left of its health and get our first win for this series of 5 here. So we finally have one on the board. I think we win the rest of them. I wish there was like a little practice that you could do, not of fighting the leaders, Candace, Blanche, and Spark, but you know, you're gonna fight Fantasy League. You know, let's have an AI fight me in the Fantasy League so I can kind of see, you know, what the battles are like using these steel types, using the mixed types here. Only this time is when I've seen a lot of people use Skarmory. It's not the most commonly used, less common than Bastiodon, I think, but you know, it'd be kind of interesting. The AI uses the top 3 Pokemon that it sees people using the most in this league. So you know, that would be Azumarill, Registeel, and you know, maybe you could pick between 3 other Pokemon: Skarmory, Bastiodon, and then Clefable or something, you know, and then just kind of cycle those 3 out, have those other 2. Stunfisk would be one that it would have just all the time. So, you know, that might be interesting, but maybe that's too much to have the AI fight you in this way, but you know, well, you never know. They're always looking, you always got to look for more things to encourage people to do stuff, so I'm sure there'll be something like that eventually. Maybe it'll be 10 years from now, though they have AI fights that you can just boop, 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 do infinitely. But not right now. Would love it though. So Niantic, if you're listening, I would love some AI fights of whatever the cup is for that time. We end up using our last shield, and well, I don't know what just came out, but I wasn't expecting them to switch, that's for sure. We use our Trailblaze, get our attack boost, and then we're instantly able to use our Iron Head. They still have shields, and they don't think that I'm gonna, you know, have a steel type move on them, so I'm able to instantly kill them with Iron Head, and now they have a choice. Oh, you know, is he gonna use Iron Head or is he gonna use Trailblaze? Iron Head probably would have been better, probably would have done more damage, and if they blocked it, it probably would have died. So that attack boost probably wouldn't have done too much, especially since I don't think I got another hit out since I sent out the Trailblaze. The Azumarill, I mean, this person here has absolutely no chance of winning. I still have Primarina, full health in the background. So even if Registeel would have died, there would have been no winning for them. It's nice to know. It's nice to know that, you know, after one big loss, that first fight was a pretty big loss. After a really close one, the matches are getting easier and easier. And I don't know if it's just you know, you got to have a couple practice rounds and then you really get into it. But it's nice to know that we're improving. And I'm sure if I played another 5 after this, it probably would have won at least 3 out of that 5 there. It's a lot to edit and a lot of uploading and a lot of storage, so I'm kind of doing 5 at a time right now, especially with these longer form content ones here. But next time I play, I might lose 2 or 3 and then win the rest of them. But there's not that much longer in this cup. I think it ends in a couple of days, so we'll see how high up we get, and then it's the Hisui Cup after this, so that'll be a lot of fun. I don't know what Pokemon I have to be able to go into the Hisui Cup, but I know that I missed a lot of Hisui Pokemon. We'll talk about more of that when we get to there. Is the Steelix going to block this Focus Blast? It does, and they've used up one of their shields so far. This Steelix probably has Earthquake. It looks like an Earthquake Steelix. Be able to get another Focus Blast off, so it's really charging up its Earthquakes there. It uses its second shield because he's already spent so much time gathering up all that energy on its Earthquake. It's not worth it to just let him die, but I probably would have let him die. Especially since I had 2 shields anyway. I either would have switched him or have let him die and kept me at 2 shields. I guess there's better things to use those shields for, but 3 Focus Blast laters and that Steelix is dead, and I still have 1 whole shield left. There's nothing that this Scizor can do that'll kill me, so I don't use my last shield here. Iron Head, it does a lot more damage than you think it would. And I think I'm able to get this Focus Blast off. Yes. So they switched, and I remember saying this when I was actually playing, but they switched into Sandslash at full health just for it to instantly die to bring out Scizor. It probably would have been smarter on their part to let Scizor die, and then he probably would have came in, killed Registeel, but I still had 2 Pokemon anyway. Both would have done a lot of damage, either with Moonblast or with Iron Head. Oh wait, no, because it is a Steel type, but it is Ice type. I don't know how that type matchup would go. Maybe Steel doesn't affect Ice when it's also a Steel type, but easy win. It was even easier than last time. I had 2 pretty much full health Pokemon in the back. In the last match, match 4, I had 1 full Pokemon. So we're gonna collect our rewards, 3 rare candies, a bunch of Stardust, and a male Frillish, which is pretty good in Great League, I guess. You see it on some popular teams from people. And I think anything that they give you here is stereotypically good. This Frillish is pretty good. It's a pretty good Frillish with those stats. We're gonna mark almost, and at some point I'm gonna have to go through again and look at all my almost Pokemon and see if I can get rid of some and evolve some and stuff like that. But we've won 3 out of 5 battles, and I couldn't ask for more. So you sub for more.